Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to No One Has to Die. Just a handful more paths to follow. A scant few more perspectives. A couple more lambs to the slaughter. Let's get started then, shall we? What is your deal then? The fire has been contained. Casualties, Steve. No. I'm so sorry. No! It's not fair! Why would you save me? Good question. I had to listen to one of you. You don't understand! He never hurt anyone! Unlike you, Christina. Neither did you. Are you sure about that? Yes, I did. Troy and Lionel and Steve. They all died because of me. The security guards, too. Visitor. This is all my fault. Indeed. I lit the fire. No, you didn't. Troy did. No, he didn't. I don't know what his deal is. Was. I set the fire. Then I killed the guards before they could do anything about it. From the start, it was all me. You know, you could have said something about this before. And maybe changed anything. But of course you wouldn't. Christina, you know it wasn't really you. It was Troy. If it was Troy, why was he trying to save us all? I don't know. No one does. This isn't how it was meant to go. Steve wasn't meant to be here. The building was meant to be nearly empty. It was nearly empty. Just a scant handful of people. A small sacrifice in the end, isn't it? Let's say you did it. What was your motive? I wanted to stop whatever was going on in this building forever. And I wanted to kill Lionel before he ruined anyone else's life too. What did Lionel do? Him and his company. They killed my mother. Are you sure about that? What? My mother used to work at this company. She had the same name as me. She never told me much about what they did here. She always just said, experiments. Well, one day she went to work and never came back. We ordered a search, but no one could find her. It was a week before we got a call from the Phoenix Corporation. They told us that they were so sorry, and that Mum had died in an experiment. Sorry my ass. They still wouldn't tell us what happened. And then, when they sent back her body, they sent back her body with her brain cut out. They cut out her brain so they could experiment on it. They killed my mother so they could look at her brain. Are you sure about that? Christina, I'm so sorry. I couldn't let them get away with doing anything like that ever again. So, I started working here at the company. They knew who I was, but I think they gave me a job to shut me up. Since then, I've spent God knows how long trying to find out what they did to my mother, but I haven't gotten anywhere. When I read in the notices that Lionel was going to be visiting today, I knew I had to do something. But I thought I had worked out the timing perfectly. Steve wasn't meant to be working overtime. And neither was Troy. And now, he's dead. I killed him. I killed all of them. Yeah, that's hard to argue with your assessment. Sucks to suck. I don't know what to say. Don't say anything. Nothing's going to help. I'll just keep moving through this building, and when I get out, I'll be arrested and I'll finally get what I deserve. Okay. Alright, I'm on the ground floor now. Beginning scan. Ground floor. To be honest, I still have no idea where I am. Most of the building is off limits normally. We take elevators down to our workspaces on floor B3, and we never see the rest of the building. What a weird way to do things. It makes sense when you remember they're trying to hide the skeletons in their closet. Kinda. Oh, there's a blue file on a desk in here. It looks like the one you found on the security guard. Another one? What's the point of that? It has a different code on it. Maybe it would let you lock more fire doors at a time? But if I'd had that earlier... Could you have saved him? No, I don't think you could have. Well, I guess it might depend on when you got it. Because if you just got it in the very last stage, still couldn't have saved him. Would have needed like 3, I think. But maybe if another person had survived. I don't know. I don't even want to think about this. I'm going to keep moving. Have to keep moving, guys. No fire detected. Hold on a sec. There's a big metal door I need to open. Alright. Okay, I'm through now. There's a sign here. It says, Tempest Entrance. What's that? No clue. There's a door here, though. It looks kind of strange. I'm going to go through. Sure, just tell me what you find. Christina has disconnected. Reason. Signal lost. What? No! We were so close! Why would it drop out now? I don't know. Maybe she went into a place that has no signal? Like a Faraday cage or some shit? Christina? Christina, I'm coming to find you! Visitor has disconnected. Christina end. Wow. The mystery is not yet solved. You must explore all possibilities to find the truth. Yep. So yes, my theories from last time were correct. She did, in fact, start the fire. It was not always burning since the world's been turning. My glorious leap of insight was, in fact, accurate. And I even got most of the motive down pat. Christina, her mother's name. She was a test subject for the whole Tempest thing. That's why the whole Christina Lives thing. They used the thingamajig on her, and it's to send her back in time, but it didn't seem to work. Instead, she just died. Did they actually cut into her to get out her brain, or was her brain simply removed by the Tempest thingamajig to be sent back? Because that would... But yeah, they sent her back, but it didn't work, and they were trying to figure out why. And their theory was And the theory that they were trying to test with the cockatiels was that she didn't die. She was simply sent to a different timeline. That's why the phrase was Christina lives. I think that adds up, but there's still one more perspective. Well, first let's see what goes on in this dead end, then. As I assume this will be. The fire has been contained. Casualties, Troy. Well, I guess he finally got what he wanted. Good. The man was a maniac. He's cost my company millions already. And he killed 4 people. 2 security guards, Steve and himself, I guess? It'll be 6 if you don't get out of here soon. Alright. I found the stairs. Me too. Beginning scan, floor B1. I didn't mean to be so callous before. It's just, this will severely impact our operations. Don't you think that might have been the point? What do you mean by that? Troy probably wanted to stop Phoenix from doing whatever messed up things you do here. I suppose that makes sense. No, impossible. Our business here is strictly confidential. Not strictly enough. Or maybe too strictly. Does that sound like a slip of the tongue to you, visitor? Trying to convince me ahead of time to sacrifice Lionel, eh? Well, too bad for you. Yep, 2 casualties unavoidable. 2 casualties unavoidable. Funny how every sequence that ends with Christina and Lionel alive ends with them dead. I guess it would probably be the same for Troy and Steve if that were possible. No. So, neither of us is going to live? I'm afraid not. I guess that's fairest, isn't it? There's nothing fair about any of this. What? Well, why would we deserve to live when Steve and Troy had to die? Because Troy was a murderer! And what about Steve? Well, either way, goodbye. 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 Huh. Well, that was kind of a surprisingly tender moment compared to the other one. Well, that didn't tell us much that we didn't already know, but oh well. Maybe we should have done that before the other path. Oh well. One last perspective. The fire has been contained. Casualties, Troy. Ah, excellent. You have made the right decision. I'm not so sure there was a right decision. Now, you made a promise. Very well. A deal's a deal. What do you want to know? Beginning scan. Ground floor. I want to know what Christina was talking about. What's going on in this company? Christina herself has no idea what we do here. She was right about one thing, though. Here at Phoenix Corporation, we buy and sell large stocks of cheap products just to keep the books looking busy. It's a front. Our true interest here is time travel. Time travel. That is indeed what I said. And you expect me to believe that? I don't care what you believe. You asked for the truth, and here it is. Now, if you'll let me continue, we in fact have a fully functional time machine in this facility. But the time machine we have constructed doesn't quite work like the ones you might see in the movies. As in, it does nothing because time travel isn't real? If you're not going to listen, I don't see why you bothered saving me. No, our time travel doesn't affect physical objects. Okay, so they probably did actually cut out the brain, and it wasn't just transported. Unless they've got a weird definition of physical. Well, that doesn't sound very useful. What can it do? No fire detected. It can carry a person's consciousness through time. Consciousness? Their thoughts, their personality, their likes and dislikes, their experiences, and their memories. Our machine can carry those things through time. So, raw data, essentially, which is, I mean, the term physical is a loaded one. Data is itself a physical thing. A person's mind is a physical thing, but I see what he's getting at. You know, I don't believe a word of this. It's your own loss. So if I was to hop in this machine and go an hour into the future, what would actually happen? Your consciousness would leave your body, and effectively you would die. Die? At first. Then, after an hour, your consciousness would re-enter your body, and you would come back to life, not even realizing an hour had passed. Assuming, you know, your body is still alive. I mean, an hour is a long time to be dead. That's impossible! We've done it successfully. People, birds, dogs, anything with a brain can travel in our machine. But what use is that sort of time travel? Your body would start to decompose if you went forward more than a few hours. It does seem to be of limited utility. I mean, maybe you could pull off some sort of cryogenics scheme with that, but that would have the same issues that regular cryogenics would have, wouldn't it? That is true. We're still experimenting with methods of preserving the body that would allow the consciousness to later re-enter it. Currently, freezing seems promising. And if you could somehow figure out a way of getting the consciousness to enter something other than the original body, that would be big. But I don't know if that would work. Or if you could somehow reconstruct the body. I don't know. But this is not where our true interest lies. If a person travels forward through time, they can visit distant eras and the like, but they can still only live for the 80 years their body dictates. More or less, I suppose. But what if one was to travel backwards? You mean back to when they were younger? No, back to when they were older. Actually, I guess that technically would be the case. Anyway. Exactly. They would retain their memories and experiences gained over time, but they would have a younger body. Unless they were in an accident and died instantly, they could live forever. Yeah, and that's less likely than you think, actually. There's a lot of methods out there for, like, killing someone instantly, supposedly, that aren't actually instantaneous. But never mind. Whoa. Whoa! Yes! With our machine, no one has to die! Ha ha ha. Indeed. After all, even if the fire claims every last one of them over and over and over, if 4 people enter alive and the exact same 4 people exit alive, well, has anyone really died? But never mind that. That would be huge. But does it work? We believe so. What's that supposed to mean? Our tests traveling forward have gone exactly to plan. However, in our tests, things didn't work quite so well going backwards. What happened? Our human test subject entered the machine. We activated it, her consciousness left her body, and unfortunately, it never came back. She died. That's terrible. What went wrong? We have dedicated every resource we have available to discovering the cause of this problem. And you haven't worked it out? We think the machine may have worked. What? How can you say that when someone died? Think about it. It is an incredibly complicated concept, but I will explain it to you. No, I think it's quite simple, actually. First, though, you have to do something for me. I have entered the code to unlock access to the rooms on the ground floor. I'm in the Tempest room. Come meet me here. But why? Why can't you tell me now? Lionel has disconnected. Reason: signal lost. Lionel? Where'd you go? Guess I have no choice now. I'll have to find you. Visitor has disconnected. There we have it. The last of these perspectives. Ending with Lionel. He confirmed so much of what I've been suspecting. The time travel. What happened to Christina? Why the cockatiels? Combined with all the other perspectives we've seen, we start to form a picture of just what happened. Of time travel through shifting timelines. Of test subjects. Of cockatiels and Christinas. Of fire and death. All to seek the truth. And yet, there is still so much that we don't know. And Lionel. The one man who actually knows what's going on here. The others told us what they knew just before the end. Little pieces of the truth. But Lionel knows so much more. And instead of telling us all that he knew, he gave us another little piece. And then he promised us more. And let us follow him. And that is perhaps the biggest difference of all. The others all simply vanished. But he invited us to follow him. To where? Well, maybe you know exactly where, dear viewer. Here we are at the end, and yet there is still so much left to discover. What next? Lionel end. The end is near. The final timeline has appeared. Oh. Hello there. Now what could you be? Well, I guess we'll just have to delve in and find out. Next time. One last cliffhanger. So, until then, I have been Joe Bob, And I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.